Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. We are Cheap Lazy Naturals, and today, as you can see by the title of this video, I'm going to be speaking about the elephant in the room. So today I'm basically going to be speaking about my natural hair journey and what my current goals are. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. So I've always been a person who has always had a decent amount of hair on their head. I was literally born with, I guess, what you would call a TWA. Like, here's the picture. These were the first few pictures I ever took on earth as a brand new human being. Look at that. I was so hairy. Anyway, so my mom took care of my hair for majority of my childhood, and she took care of it quite well, I must say. My hair was always quite healthy, and it was long. Not as, I don't think it ever got to the length that it is right now. Maybe, I don't know, but it was still relatively long. Granted that back then we didn't have that much information in terms of natural hair care as we have now, so I guess she did as much as she possibly could, given the amount of hair care knowledge as well as hair care products. And the one thing about my mom is, even though she had relaxed hair, she really loved and embraced my natural hair, and she refused to ever let me get relaxers. I think I might have asked her like a couple of times, like, can I just get a relaxer, because I also want to wear my hair straight. Because I mean, I'd look at her and she had like beautiful relaxed hair, and then I'd look at my hair. It's not that I didn't really consider my hair beautiful, that I thought it was ugly or anything, but just every now and then I would want to change, and I'd want hair like hers. So then I would ask her, can I also get a relaxer? And then she would say no. She's like,
girl, you can get a relaxer once you are legal. So when you're 18.
So basically that was the end of that conversation. Fast forward to about when I was 12 or 13, my mom was still taking care of my hair, but I think at that point we decided like that I was old enough and responsible enough, I guess, to take care of my own hair. And I think my mom would still do my hair every now and then, especially for like intricate styles like mini braids or like mini twists or whatever. Then she would obviously do my hair. But for majority of the time I was doing my own hair. I was washing it, I was styling it, very basic styling it, but yeah, it was all me basically. I don't really know how long my hair was because I never really measured it. I never bothered. I think it was like probably like armpit length. I mean, my hair is still quite shrunken, but it would probably be here if it was in the same like state that it is right now. My hair never really grew past that, but it was fine. I don't think I gave it much thought. Sometime during my teens, I had a major setback, so I was going through quite a hectic time, you know, as a teenager. So I developed this habit, this like way of coping with stress, of vigorously scratching my scalp on my nape area. And it got so bad that this one day my mom was styling my hair. I don't know why, but she was styling my hair, and then she looked at my nape area and she was like,
girl, there's no hair here, it's all gone.
They were literally bald patches, and for some odd reason I hadn't really noticed it, or I don't know, but I just know that once my mom told me like, it's bald, it's legit bald, then we were like, okay, let's do something about it. And then around the same time my mom found out, or she heard about these products called Dr. Miracles, so she was like, oh, maybe we should give those a try. So I actually started doing some research on it, and I read some reviews, and I thought, okay, it looks quite good and decent. I mean, back then what else did we have? Just like Dark and Lovely and ORS. So like when Dr. Miracle came, it was like, oh my goodness, another hair care brand. So basically we decided, okay, let's start using the Dr. Miracle product. Yeah, and I would say that after a while I definitely saw some progress, but I don't think that it was just the products alone that helped my hair grow back. There was this one product that was actually targeted for your nape and temple areas, for breakage around those areas. So I actually thought like, oh, that's perfect. Like, that's the exact region that I'm trying to target anyway. So on the back in the instructions, it said that you actually had to apply, I don't know why I remember this, but I just remember this so well. It said that you needed to apply that product twice a day and really massage it well into your scalp. So obviously I did not follow that to the T, because who has the time to be massaging their hair twice a day? Okay, I mean, I guess as a teenager, I probably had the time. But I wasn't too bad though. I was massaging my scalp quite regularly with the product. I did probably like 3 times a week, 4 times, maybe even daily. on a good week, but I wasn't doing it twice a day, also because the product was quite greasy and I didn't really like wandering around with greasy hair. I think that was another reason why I didn't apply it as recommended. But either way, I still did it quite regularly, and I was making sure that I was massaging the product into my scalp. And if you didn't know, massaging your scalp actually helps stimulate blood flow, which eventually helps stimulate hair growth. And also, the main ingredient in the Dr. Miracle products at the time, I'm not quite sure if it's still the case, the main ingredient was peppermint. And peppermint, just like massaging, also helps stimulate blood flow, which eventually also leads to hair growth. So I think those two combined, the massaging and the fact that the products had peppermint, really helped accelerate my hair growth. I think within 8 months, my hair had grown probably like 10 centimeters because it was like short. Like there was barely anything. Still had hair around the edges for some odd reason. But anyway, so I think within 8 months or so, maybe even 6. Within 6 months, my hair had grown about 10 centimeters. Hopefully I'm inserting some pictures as I'm speaking. I don't really know if I took many pictures during that time because I was just like very down in terms of my hair. So I don't think I really took many progress pictures. So even though my hair did grow back in the areas where it had broken, the only problem was that my hair was not an awkward length because the top bits were still super long because they were growing. And now my bottom bits were short. My hair just looked awkward. It just wasn't a nice time for me in general in terms of my hair. Anyway, I think after those 6 months had passed, I was still doing this massaging routine and using Dr. Miracle products, but I think I started slacking a bit. I think my hair just kind of started growing slowly, not as fast as it was before, just, you know, at its normal rate. And obviously I still didn't have like the best routine, like the routine that I have now. So I wasn't retaining as much length as I do retain these days. After a year of growing out my bald spots, I discovered that I could actually straighten my hair even though my hair was natural. I mean, I thought my natural hair would always just be bushy and like kinky, and it would never ever get flat or silky straight unless I'd add a relaxer. And I just basically fell in love with it. I didn't want to do anything else to my hair. So during that time, I started going to the hair salon with my mom like every week or every 2 weeks. Basically just, you know, washing my hair by the hair salon, and then I would get my hair blow dried and then flat ironed. Yeah, so that was me for the next year or so. During this time that I started straightening my hair, I realized that my hair still looked awkward. It looked quite thin and it just wasn't even all the way around because the bottom was short and the top was long. So I decided to start experimenting with weaves. I wasn't doing anything too hectic. I was just using like 2 wefts or like 2 rows, like 2 or 3 rows of weave, and I would get them installed at the bottom of my hair just to like basically compensate for the parts that were shorter. And that was me basically. For a year or so, I was getting my hair straightened almost every week or every 2 weeks, and then I'll get a weave installed, well, 2 to 3 wefts of weave installed in my hair. And I was barely ever taking care of my own hair. The only time I touched my hair was to retouch it with a flat iron, which would happen like quite often. There were some days where I would touch up on my, especially the top, because obviously everyone saw the top, especially if the weather was bad or if it was raining. Obviously having natural hair, my hair would get frizzy. Once I would get home, I'll try to touch it up, especially if I was still going out. Yeah, so that was basically me for a while. I was frying my hair when I wasn't getting it straightened at the hairdresser, and during that time I wasn't retaining any length either. My hair pretty much just stayed in the same state, I reckon. Or if I did manage to retain length, I didn't retain that much. Like, I feel like my hair stayed by collarbone for that whole entire time. Yeah, so I think one day I just got tired of always having to straighten my hair and making sure that it's like matching my weave. And I was just also tired of having to be afraid of water, afraid of rain, afraid of humidity. So I decided, okay, I'm actually gonna try to grow my hair out until it's all even, and then I'm gonna get a relaxer. So I started doing research on the internet on how to take care of hair properly and how to make it grow. And while I was doing my research, I actually discovered the natural hair community. It was also a whole new world for me. It was just so eye-opening and just wonderful. Like, I'm sure everyone has been through that moment when they actually discover the versatility and they discover the potential of natural hair and like what you can do with natural hair and how amazing natural hair can look when it's properly taken care of. So I fell in love with the natural hair community and the whole natural hair world, that I decided like, well, I'm not going to relax my hair anymore. I'm just going to grow my hair natural. So then I decided to start my natural hair journey. My goal was just to like see as how long I could get my hair to be, and also get my hair as healthy as possible. So the first thing I did was eliminate heat. The minute I eliminated heat and actually washed my hair myself, like I hadn't washed my hair myself or done it in so long that I had forgotten how my hair looked like. I wasn't familiar with my hair at all. I remember the first time washing my hair, I realized that I had a severe case of heat damage, especially on the top of my hair. Actually, the rest of my hair was healthy. It was literally just the top of my hair. I decided that instead of doing a big chop, I would just transition slowly, like each month or every now and then cut and trim off the relaxed ends, not the relaxed end, the heat damaged ends. And then that's also when I started developing a natural hair routine.
So the routine that I developed back then that I still follow till this day includes limiting the amount of hair manipulation. So this means that I avoid brushing or combing my hair unnecessarily, and I only really brush my hair when I apply products to my hair that add slip to it. Additionally, I like to protective style majority of the time. Admittedly, I probably wouldn't protective style as much as I do if I wasn't as lazy or as busy as I am. I also like to limit the amount of heat styling that I do to plus or minus 3 times a year. On top of that, I try to deep condition my hair at least once a month. And finally, I make sure that I keep my hair moisturized to prevent it from becoming brittle and dry.
And yeah, and fast forward to 5 years later, here we are. So basically during those 5 years, I've been trimming my heat damage and growing out the rest of my hair. And throughout those 5 years, my hair grew quite well. I don't think it grew like abnormally fast. I think it was quite average for me. I just managed to retain length, which was what I wasn't doing before. I was barely retaining much length before I started my natural hair routine. And when I actually started my natural hair routine or my natural hair journey, that's when I started retaining length properly. Here you can see my hair was retaining length steadily, but nothing too significant. You know, I didn't go from collarbone to waist length within a year. It was all steady progress. And yeah, I guess that's my natural hair journey. This is where we are right now. Wow, it's been a long journey with you, hair. It's been a long journey with you, hair. Wow. You are my best friend. Guys, hug your hem. So basically, let's speak about like what I still want to achieve. What are my current goals right now? Okay, so one of the things that I still want to achieve in my natural hair journey is even out all of my hair. So because I had heat damage at the top and the front parts of my hair, which were the parts that I was constantly straightening, I had to trim the heat damage off. So consequently, this part of my hair, the top part of my hair, is not as long as the bottom part of my hair. Actually, it is as long, but it doesn't reach the same, how do I say this? What I'm trying to say is, if I grab this piece and this piece and stretch it all the way down, this piece won't go as far down as this piece. Basically, that's what my problem is. Actually, it isn't a problem. What I have is just called layers, and I'm sure a lot of people like layers, but personally, I don't like layers on me. There's certain styles that I just can't rock because I have layers. So I want to get to a point where all of my hair is even, and I think my hair is like quite a good length now. Do I want it to get longer? You see, if my hair was straight and that's how I wore it all the time, I think I would be satisfied with the length that I have. But because I wear my hair shrunken majority of the time, I feel like I need to get longer hair because my wash and go still shrink up to here, girl. What is this? How is my hair like all the way here and my wash and goes like here? It's not a thing. So I feel like I still need to grow my hair probably down to like knee length so that my wash and goes can at least hang like this. Like, okay, maybe this is a bit too much. I want my wash and goes to at least be on my shoulders. That's what I want. So I don't really know exactly which length that is, but hopefully it will just be like tailbone length. Hopefully I don't have to go all the way down to like knee length, because who's trying to comb knee length hair? Like, imagine. So I guess those are my goals that I still have for my natural hair. I want to get it as healthy as it can possibly be. My hair isn't unhealthy, but it could definitely be healthier. If I could rate my hair from 0 to 100 in terms of healthy, I would say it's at 70%. So I could definitely still work on the 30%. And I guess that's it from me for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this, even though it was literally just me blabbing on and on and on about my hair. So anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end, if you made it all the way to the end. Wow, I appreciate you. I appreciate you all that didn't make it to the end too, but anyway, I guess we'll see you guys on our next video. So bye. Why do I always do a high pitch back? So bye.